Now, Trump literally went on, I think it was Hannity, and was like, yeah, I would be a dictator. He does say I would be a dictator only for a day. Kind of says it tongue-in-cheek, but of course,
People don't like that.
people don't like it. Things are going to get picked apart, anything that he says. So the question is, do you like Trump's approach to this election campaign? It's not really doing any presidential debates, not doing anything. But before we get into that, take a look at this clip.
Donald Trump really said it. He'll be a dictator for a day if reelected.
He says, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one.
Trump made the extraordinary vow at a town hall in Iowa, moderated by Fox News host Sean Hannity, who was attempting to quell fears that Trump would exact revenge on his political enemies.
You are promising America tonight you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
A promise from Donald Trump to be a dictator.
Trump's comments are sparking outrage today.
Stunning comments about a potential second term.
Think about it. If any other politician in American history were asked the question, are you going to be a dictator? No.
Fox News brushed it off as a joke.
He was joking about those dictator comments. What he did there is brilliant. He made it into a joke.
Despite the rumors, Trump will not be attending tonight's Republican primary debate in Alabama, sponsored by News Nation. It'll mark Megyn Kelly's return to the moderator's chair. She made a personal plea to Trump. This would be spectacular. Mr. President, you would be more than welcome, and we would love to have you. But no dice.
All right, so do y'all think that was a brilliant take or brilliant thing to do, as that Fox reporter was saying? Or do you think that was, I probably shouldn't have done that?
I think it was him, but was it a smart thing to do? I don't know. Probably not. Like from a political campaign manager standpoint, probably not. Like they were probably like freaking out, but. But for him, like, it made sense. And I feel like any other politician, they would think the same thing. Like, yeah, I'm definitely going to get everybody back. But they wouldn't say it. They'd be like, oh, no, of course not. But he's just straight up about it.
Yeah. I mean, Trump has always been, people, don't believe this, but he's always been 100% blunt and honest about what he wants to do and how he does it. I do think he was joking about the dictator thing only because no one's really going to let him be a dictator, and he knows that, so obviously he's exaggerating. But I do understand why he said that and why he said day one, because it's kind of like, sometimes, like, I think about, like, I don't know, moms in homes with, like, all their kids, and everyone's running around and doing whatever, and it's messy, and she probably just wants to be like, okay, you know what, everyone stop, you do this, everyone put your toys up, everyone do this, this, and this, and you kind of just want to take over for a minute, so that everything can like be put back in the order that it needs to be, and then the rest of your days can be like, okay, let's take it slow, let's do something else. But I understand why he said that. But is that smart? Probably not, because we know how people are gonna take things like that. But you gotta like look behind the words if you are a critical thinker.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that there's already a certain section of people that are just anti-Trump no matter what he says. Even if he says something that they would agree with, it's like, oh, Trump said it. He's probably got some secret agenda behind it. That's probably something that they would say. And so I do think that he's just appealing to the people that are already on his side. Now, where I think it hurts him is the people that may be a little bit on the fence. They might hear that comment and be swayed like, oh man, like that's a step too far, man. But let's understand this. Every president that, gets elected into office, day one, they start just firing people, executive orders, that the most things happen. They have the most power essentially on day one. And so the comment, although may seem anti-democratic or whatever, there's some merit to it, because the president, day one, they get in, they start doing their thing, and then after day one, then of course, like all these, then politics starts getting involved in everything. That very first day,
but that's true.
So I mean, it makes sense.
It does.
So it's like only on day one, It's like, well, yeah, because on day one I'm gonna be able to do all these different things that I'm not going to be able to do over the stretch of a whole, term. Yeah. And so, I mean, yeah, I just thought that was that's my take. I thought that was kind of, I think he was said it in jest, but also like he knows that that's something that's going to get people talking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so, Mom Prophet says at least he's honest.
Exactly.
She also says he only wants to be dictator for a day in order to secure the southern border and begin drilling in the U.S. So yeah, I mean, it's like the day one Biden got in office, he just completely repealed a bunch of stuff that Trump did, and the same thing, Trump repealed a bunch of stuff that Obama did. So there's a lot of things that happen as soon as power is exchanged as far as presidency goes. And so, do you like Trump's approach to this election campaign, or do you think maybe he needs to get involved in the Republican debates and
It's different.
It is very different.
It's a different approach.
I think it's so different because I don't think none of the other presidents have ever done it. But I also think it backs up what people say about him when they're like, oh, he doesn't like unify the country because he's not participating in, the debate for everybody. So do I like it? I mean, I think it's unique. I think it's cool, but also I don't think it shows that he is trying to be a part of the system, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think he trusts the system, and that's probably why he's choosing to step back from it.
Yeah.
I don't.
Which, I mean, I would probably want to do.
Yeah, and I get
yeah, the
that.
problem is the system. So
Yeah.
and I understand it
I don't think
completely.
he trusts it. Like, he doesn't trust the media, doesn't trust the system, or even how anything is running. And so he's like, well, I'm not going to be a part of it. So I do understand that.
Yeah.
But it's like, at the same time, it's like what you were saying, like, it kind of looks like he's not trying to unify the country because he's not trying to be a part of anything.
Yeah.
So it's a double-edged sword.
But I guess, like, for my personal answer, I think it's cool because he's being himself. Like, it's so hard to see people do what they want to do exactly how they want to do it. So
I agree with that.
So yeah, I'm one of those people that is like, yeah, I have a problem with him as far as him not being able to unify all sides. There's no hope because he's so divisive as a person, as a figure, as a figure. And so because of that, I think it is smarter for him to stay away because what is he going to gain from the debates? He can only lose because people already kind of know he's already been president. People know what he's all about. People know what he looks like during a debate. There's no really advantage that he can gain from participating. So I think it's smart. And I don't think it's seen by, it may be seen by or portrayed by the other side of people that hate him that, oh, this is not unifying. But I don't see that, even though I think he's a divisive figure and that's his main flaw. Yeah. I see okay, this guy's being, smarter and meticulous because he has all of these accusations. Because think about it. He goes to a presidential debate, all they're going to do is bring up all this stuff that the left is already trying to pin him down for.
Exactly.
Oh, what about this trial? What about this case, right? Mm-hmm. What about, on top of all of the other stuff,
instead of addressing the issues of the country.
Yeah, then you're not even talking about the things that need to be talked about. They already, circumvent a lot of topics that need to be talked about for, stupid issues that aren't going to help the everyday lives of the American people. So, yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents on that issue. Got another comment from Mama Prof. She says, Trump is going to control the narrative. So, yeah, that's the other thing. He's instead of him putting himself in a position where people can just make up their own narratives, he's only doing things that allow him to
tell his story.
Control his narrative in a sense. Exactly. I can say this how I want to say it. I know how people are going to respond to it. I'm going to say it on the platform I want to say it on and how I want to say it to whom I want to say it to.
That is so true. That is so true.
So he will let the other candidates bicker among themselves and then tell the country how bad they are. Yeah,
that is so true.
And that's a good strategy in war in general.
It really
it's kind of let them fight each other off and I can be the only one standing, or whoever's left is going to be so beat down, it's going to be an easy victory for me. And so I'm not saying that I'm backing Trump 100%, but the strategy seems to be the best for his situation at this particular point in time. So that's what we have on that. Trump would be a dictator. What do you think? Do you like Trump's approach to this election campaign? Let us know down in the comments if you're in the live chat. We'll be right back. Like for the algorithm.
Bruh.